We keep bringing you damning information about how corrupt some of these officials are, some who have been hell-bent on defeating President Trump with lies and taking him down with lies. And tonight, even more breaking news. We thought we had them all. We don't. Brand new tonight, text messages uncovered between former FBI lovebirds Strzok and Page proves everything we have been telling you for months. Look at this, a letter from Congressman Mark Meadows of North Carolina to the Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein saying, quote, a review of these new documents suggests a coordinated effort on the part of the FBI and the Department of Justice to release information to the public domain potentially harmful to President Donald Trump's administration. They actually did it. Specifically, the spring of 2017, high-level officials leaking sensitive information about FISA warrants against one-time Trump campaign associate Carter Page, who will join us in a few minutes. Look at this text from Strzok to Page, April 10, 2017, quote, I had literally just gone to find this phone to tell you I want to talk to you about media leak strategy with the DOJ before you go. Okay, the DOJ and the FBI coordinating leaks to the media. It's an ongoing investigation. On April 11, 2017, the very next day, Washington Post publishes a story about Carter Page and his FISA application. Now, naturally, this led to multi-day media obsession about so-called Trump-Russia collusion. Let's go to the next day, April 12, 2017, one day later. Strzok texting his girlfriend, Lisa Page, job well done, all while referring to two derogatory articles about Carter Page. John Solomon reporting tonight this could have been an attempt to smear Carter Page. Why? In order to cast a negative light on the president and potentially spur new investigations. And there's even more. Congressman Meadows points out other newly unearthed documents show that Mueller's pit bull, yeah, we've told you about him, Andrew Weissman. Robert Mueller, you're number one guy. And other DOJ officials also leaked similar information to the press. Now, they were coordinating in the DOJ and the FBI to lie to you, the American people. Why? To destroy the president. We now have discovered what the insurance policy is. You have all these Trump-hating, deep state actors, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, Bruce Ohr, Nellie Ohr, Andrew McCabe, and I'll add Christopher Steele to the list. They have one thing in common. They all hate President Trump. Remember, this was about a month before Andrew Weissman's boss, Robert Mueller, started the phony witch hunt. And he's still working for Mueller. Weissman is. And this comes as President Trump now looks poised to declassify important sections of Carter Page's FISA documents. And we're talking about everything that was shown to the Gang of Eight, specifically the pages 10 through 12, 17 through 34. Potentially, we're told, exculpatory information on Carter Page. Now, all of the associated footnotes, all the so-called 302s, which are the reports that say Bruce Ohr writing about Christopher Steele in the context and in terms of what they're talking about, this declassification could happen any time. Now, I've not seen them, but according to my sources, the information will be explosive. We'll ask Carter Page about that in a moment, considering it's about him. And if he's such a danger, why hasn't he been charged with anything? Joining us now, author of #1 New York Times bestseller, The Russian Hoax, The Illicit Scheme to Clear Hillary Clinton, Frame Donald Trump, Fox News legal analyst Greg Jarrett, and Fox News investigative reporter and contributor Sarah Carter. Sarah, we'll start with the news as we always do, then we'll get Greg's analysis. Let's first, we have the FBI and the DOJ colluding to leak phony Russian lies to damage the president, the same DOJ that hired Mueller and the same Mueller team or Steele surrounding the information.
Now, Sean, I think these are some of the most important documents and important text messages to come out yet, because what they show is that the DOJ and the FBI high-level senior officials were working hand in hand together to leak information on a counterintelligence investigation. They basically confirmed
an ongoing investigation.
That's right, and an ongoing investigation exactly on Carter Page, a foreign intelligence surveillance warrant. I mean, this is, I believe, and Greg can explain this, I think, more clearly. I was speaking to intelligence officials about this, and they said this is absolutely prosecutable. I mean, you do not talk, confirm, leak to the press anything about a counterintelligence investigation. I think this is going to be very important moving forward, and I think this is a main reason why the president needs to declassify the rest of the documents that you just spoke about, the FISA documents, as well as the Bruce Ohr 302s. Those are his interviews with the FBI.
And
as sources have told me,
Strzok and Page communications that haven't been released. This is brand new today. How did we not see this before?
Because they were withholding the information. The Department of Justice is withholding that information, and it trickles out slowly to Congress because Congress has been fighting over and over for these documents. Just think how many more documents we haven't seen, Sean.
Now, this goes to the issue of firewalls that Steele was talking about with Ohr. This goes to the issue of the insurance policy with Strzok and Page. This goes to the issue of Christopher Steele asking Bruce Ohr if he got his information to the special counsel. This is what we have. I don't think it can get more corrupt. You have the FBI and the DOJ. DOJ is running this investigation, supposedly, colluding to leak what we now know to be lies to the American people to hurt the president.
That's right.
The same DOJ hired Mueller, and Steele is feeding information through Bruce Ohr to Mueller vis-a-vis Weissman.
It's the definition of corruption. If there was ever any doubt that Comey's FBI and Obama's Department of Justice were engaged in an illicit and illegal scheme to frame Donald Trump, this should erase any doubt. And they're bragging about it in their text messages. They were using deliberately, knowingly, willfully false information that they were peddling, in this case, to the Washington Post, which is so biased and gullible they swallowed it hook, line, and sinker. And then afterwards, they're bragging about it to each other.
When you get Ohr and McCabe and Page and Strzok and Steele, and then you look at they don't want to be exposed. Steele didn't want to be exposed, and the firewalls, and they're leaking to the special counsel. I'm thinking we now know what the insurance policy is. These are the five hating. The five big Trump haters.
Policy in the event that Hillary Clinton lost the election.
And this is post-election in April of 2017.
Exactly. Was to frame Donald Trump and undo the decision of American voters, undo the election results.
With lies.
That's right. And it's a violation of federal felony statutes, most notably abuse of power. You are not allowed to use your public office to interfere or disrupt with somebody's constitutional rights, the rights to privacy. Carter Page, for example, and the President of the United States peddling a false story that they knew was fabricated.
At this point in time in April of 2017, this is Rod Rosenstein's Department of Justice. Jeff Sessions is recusing. And now he has a special counsel, but he's got another little problem, is that he's up to his eyeballs in all of this. He appointed the special counsel, and he himself signed the fourth FISA warrant, the third renewal application.
Actually, Sean, it was the fourth renewal application, and he knew everything, or he should have known everything that happened prior to that. So the first three applications, those first three renewals that went over and over again until he finally got it, had all the information backlogged, all the information that the FBI would have had, Peter Strzok. So Rod Rosenstein, this is Rosenstein's FISA, and he should have known. And I think that is why the DOJ and the FBI are fighting so hard not to declassify the information. Those 302s by Bruce Ohr, all of that information that's contained in those interviews will show that they withheld exculpatory information from the FISC courts. When they get those 302s and they compare them to the application warrant, I think all of our answers will come out. And I've also been told it's going to be explosive.
To jail?
A lot of people could be subject to prosecution, including all the individuals, Rod Rosenstein, James Comey, Sally Yates, Andrew McCabe, who deceived the court, perpetrated a fraud on the court deliberately.
Do you realize that what we have here is that they are leaking, the Department of Justice coordinating leaks of unverified information and Russian lies to the American people?
That's right. And yet they refuse to answer those same questions when Congress asks them.